Well, hey there. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Mine just got a lot better. But we have to temper our excitement. And what I'm talking about is our wonderful friend Carlos Tavares is no longer the head of Stellantis, the evil overlord over Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. It's very fascinating. The story came up this afternoon, and I have it right here. And I have some really interesting thoughts on this because he was Caesared. It was I'll 100% say it's a coup d'état, and it's over. So here's the story: Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares resigns. Is Milan, December 1st, which is today. Chief Executive Carlos Tavares resigned abruptly on Sunday, 2 months after a profit warning at the maker of Jeep, Fiat, Peugeot cars that had lost around 40% of its values this year. That's kind of fascinating that they only mentioned Jeep, Fiat, and Peugeot, not Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram. Interesting enough. Kind of weird. And also no Alpha. I don't understand it. That just doesn't make any sense, but let's move on. The company said it would seek to find a replacement CEO in the first half of 2025. Senior Independent Director Henry de Castries said in a statement, I probably butchered that the decision for Tavares to leave resulted from different views emerging in the recent weeks among major shareholders, the board, and Tavares. I have a feeling it's major shareholders. His resignation was first reported by Bloomberg News. Actually, Automotive News beat them by 2 hours, but we'll go. The previous regarded as one of the most respected executives of the auto industry, Tavares came under criticism after Stellantis issued a profit warning in 2024 results. That included a forecast for cash burn of up to 10 billion euros or $10.6 billion, mostly due to slow sales and bloated inventories in its North American market, the group's most profit powerhouse. The profit warning triggered a wide reshuffle of its group's top management, including changes of chief financial officer, its head of North American operations, and initially spared Tavares. Yes, because he was throwing everyone overboard as the ship was running aground. After that, however, Stellantis said Tavares was not seeking a new CEO term and would retire at the end of the current mandate in early 2026. Stellantis shares have lost around 40% of their value this year. The company's board of directors, under the chairmanship of John Elkman, which they talk about more, and I'll go into depth in a little bit, accepted Carlos Tavares' resignation today from his role of chief executive officer with immediate effect, Stellantis said in a statement. Elkman, the scion of the Agnelli family, which founded Fiat and is the top Stellantis shareholder through its investment company Exor, thanked Tavares for his role in the creation of Stellantis, the world's fourth largest car maker by sales. Other big shareholders include the Peugeot family and the French government through public investment bank BPI France. Also keep that in mind. Tavares, who loved to describe current challenges in the automotive industry as Darwin period, has led Stellantis since its creation in early 2021 through the merger of Fiat Chrysler and the Peugeot-owned PSA. His outspoken style is often seen in conflict with counterparts in the U.S., unions, and Italian government, which complained about his decision to reduce auto production in Italy. Stellantis said the process to appoint a new permanent CEO is well underway and would accelerate to conclude within the first half of 2025. In the meantime, a new interim executive committee chaired by Elkam, imagine that, would be established. This process to select a new CEO was initially set to be completed by the final quarter of next year. So let's get into this Mr. Elkam. As I said in the article, he is the chosen heir of the maternal grandfather Gianni Agnelli's empire, followed by the death of Gianni's nephew. And this is the man that started Fiat. Elkann now chairs the automaker Stellantis and chief executive officer of Exor, the holder company controlled by the Agnelli family, which holds with a controlling stake in Ferrari, CNH, Avici Group, Juvenetis, and the Economist Group. So he was running Ferrari. He's been very much involved. He's very much a person of power in Italy. These are people that they listen to and they talk to, because this is what also happened. So this is from Reuters, like a month ago. Italy's ruling parties urged government to summon Stellantis to clarify plans, because Stellantis had promised that they would increase production in Italy. Now they have been cutting uh, production. So they've reduced production by 250,000 cars. And also there's a plant for the electric Fiat 500 that has been idle now for at least 2 months. So I imagine that these people talk to this person and went, "Yeah, we can't have this anymore." But then also you have this happening. US dealers are very angry with Stellantis leadership right now, because Mr. Tavares, this guy left, the US market, which, this was the big push for these European companies to finally get a foothold and make money from the most important financially. And I've had people comment on this. Oh, the US market's not that important. China's bigger. China is not where people want to sell cars. They People want to sell cars in America. Even the Chinese want to sell cars in America. Ferrari made sure there's 3 races in North America. Mercedes made sure there's 3 F1 races in North America, because US is that important. It is literally that important a market for them. And he, through just bumbling, screwed up the US market. So the thing is, with all this coming along, is this going to make anything better for you out there that want a Stellantis muscle car or something kind of built well from Stellantis? No, not really. In the short term, this does nothing except now have a company that has no product for the North American market, have no leadership. Because you in the article, they basically said they're just going to have a temporary committee running this. You can't run a business by committee. It does not work. You need a leader. I believe Mr. Elkham, he possibly will step in and be a little more hands on with it, even though he's running other ventures, but he has run Ferrari. The other problem is that people don't understand that Stellantis is owned partially by the French government. And that is the whole push for EVs. That is why the insanity happened. And as I've always been saying, that Tavares is nothing but an autocrat from Europe. He is doing their wishes of making these vehicles that no one wants except governments. Governments want these vehicles. We don't. So in the long run, in the short and actually in the long run, maybe it makes a difference. Maybe, end up just selling stuff off because it didn't work. Who knows? And maybe Tavares is just the fall guy. Possibly. Could be. I mean, that could be an absolute in the short term. I see nothing but bad things. The charger appliance is a disaster. It's dead on arrival. OC Motivator did a couple of videos on it. It is dead on arrival. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be basically what they say, a fart in the wind. And they have no other product coming out. There's nothing coming out, and the Jeep line is garbage right now because the recalls and the quality control is not there. They screwed up that, and they screwed up RAM. So honestly, uh, in the short term, I see nothing good. It's going to get much worse. In the long term, if things work out and they end up, flushing away some of these autocrats and bring in car people, and they want to build cars that people want and not do the beg and call of governments, yeah, it could be a positive thing in the long run. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I think this whole thing is a doomed process. So, but at least we got rid of the man that loved to just absolutely start fights with everyone he did business with and blame everyone else except himself for failures. So basically, he was Caesared. It was I'll 100% say this is a coup d'état. He was absolutely coup d'état. No other way to say it. He was coup d'état, and it's over. It's over for him in the auto industry at this point. But he's old and he's retired, and he probably got a freaking parachute, so can't really shed a tear for him. With that said, uh, I want to hear your thoughts on this because it does affect old car owners because remember they do own the patents and they also help the car. They also holding the car culture hostage because they don't make stuff that we want or to fit our needs. So this can be kind of interesting. Just do the things that it says below. And if you have an old classic car or something fun to drive, take it out. You make someone's day, maybe even your own. And I'll catch you soon. Bye.